All right, today we're going to talk about Nashville Number System. This is the first video on the Nashville Number System, and what you need to understand before we talk about this is what a major chord is, the minor chord is, and the diminished chord. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is talk about the C scale. And what we're going to do is take each one of these notes in the C scale and we're going to add a triad to it. So C major, and then if we go up here and add the triad in the key of C. So here's the note, like D, skip the note, go up a third, go up a third. Now we're on D minor. We're gonna do that again. Go up here. So we're just gonna keep going up. And that pattern is easily seen in the C scale. So now what we're gonna do is we're going to assign a number to each one of these, just 1 through 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and back to 1. All right. Now this gets a little harder to do if you go to a different key. In other words, a key that doesn't have all white notes. So let's go to the key of G. Instead of an F natural, we have to play an F sharp. Right. So 1 and 2 are easy enough, but when we get to 3, we can't play this F natural because it's not in the key of G. It's an F sharp. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then once again we have this F natural. We gotta take it to an F sharp, so that'd be 5, 6, 7, 1. All right. Now, why would we want to learn the Nashville number system? Well, there are two different reasons. The first one is transposition, an easy understanding of how to transpose a song. So let's say I had a song and it went from like C to F. All right. Well, C is the 1 chord and F is the 4 chord in the key of C. All right. So let's say I went, so that's C to F and back to C. Well, since I know that relationship, here's a C to an F and back to C. That's a C. That's a 1 to 4 and back to 1. 1, 4, 1. All right. So what if I wanted to do that song in a different key? Well, that'd be 1 to 4 in a different key. So let's go to the key of G, for instance. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I'm talking about the chord of G and the chord of C. Right? C to F or G to C. Same thing. And you can have that relationship in all 12 major keys. 1 to 4 in C, and then and then you're back to C. So you could have 1 to 4 or 1 to 3 or any other relationship, right? So the first reason for understanding the Nashville number system is to be able to transpose easily. The second reason, which I think is even more beneficial really, is to understand the overall structure of music and to help you to kind of predict where a song is going to go. If let's say it's a new song that you've never heard of before and you're jamming with a band and they give you a piece of music and you look it over, if you already are aware of 1, 6, 2, 5 in the key of C, for instance, and you look at that and you go C, A minor, D minor, G. Okay, so that's just a 1, 6, 2, 5. So you can quickly assess a piece of music and group it up in your brain so that it's a lot easier to understand and very quick to grab a hold of with your hands. So let's say 1, 6, 2, 5. You might go. Right, so that would be like heart and soul, or let's see. So that would be like a 1, 6, 4, 5. which is also a very common progression. Let's talk about what you need to do now, since you understand like what the Nashville number system is, kind of why you want to learn it. So the next thing you need to do then is to go through all 12 keys. And you want to do all those triads and all the 12 keys, and you want to say to yourself, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. Okay, that's the key of C, very easy. But now we're going to go to key of G. Instead of the F natural, we're going to go to F sharp. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and back to 1. And then you want to do it in the key of D. And now we have 2 sharps, right? So instead of the F and the C, we're going to play F sharp and C sharp. Right? And then A would have 3 sharps, of course. And so it's going to take some time, and it's going to bend your mind a little bit as you're going through there and trying to understand this application in each one of these keys. But I promise you that it will be a huge help for you to understand where the 1 is in every key, where the 3 is, where the 4 is, where the 7 is. This is one of the reasons, one of the big skills that you have to have if you don't have like a great ear or something. To just sit down and play with musicians. It's one of the things that can help you to understand, help you to understand where a song is and where it's going, and it will also help your ear training too as you go along. You can, rather than like if I hear a song and let's say the song is going. Well, I was mostly focusing on those first 2 chords. I hear this like focusing on the bass note. So it just went down. So I understand that in my ear, I can hear those 2 notes, and I'm not necessarily hearing A, G sharp, F sharp. I don't have perfect pitch. But what I am hearing is, okay, so there's the 1, and it goes down to the 6 relationship. Right, so if I know what the chord progression is, I can figure out the key later. So it makes your ear training a lot easier as well. All right. The last thing that I'll say about the Nashville number system is that it's really, it takes it. The simple way to say it is that there's the same numbers are the same qualities in every key. So in C, we have 1 is a major chord, and then 2 is a minor chord, 3 is a minor chord. 4 is a major chord. So 1, 2, 3, 4 is major, and 5 is major. So 1, 4, and 5 are major in the key of C. Now it's actually true in all of the keys, all of the major keys, the 1 chord, the 4 chord, the 5 chord, they're all major keys, major chords. So if we're in the key of G, here's the 1, there's 4, there's 5. Those are all major chords. In the key of F sharp, 1, 4, 5. Those are all major chords. And then 2, 3, and 6 will always be minor. So 2, 3, 6 in the key of C. Those are always going to be minor. 2, 3, and 6 in the key of G. Minor. 2, 3, and 6 in the key of F sharp. Minor. And then 7 is always going to be diminished. So that would be a 7 in the key of F sharp, 7 in the key of F, it's the key of G. This would be the F sharp diminished. So F diminished, which is the 7 in the key of F sharp. This is the 7 in the key of G. And then B diminished would be the 7 in the key of C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which is diminished. And back to 1. All right, so that'll conclude this video on the Nashville number system.